Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, we beat this game. Or rather, the game beat us. Apparently, you are guaranteed to get a bad ending on your first run. If I want a good ending, I need to play the game again. Darn, and I was actually kind of hyped about starting up the next game on my list. No, well, this is a game that I've been kind of wanted to play as well, which is, of course, why I decided to stream it for you all, because this is an interesting game, which I'm glad, because I was hoping it was an interesting game. That said, if I'm going to be playing this again, I have a few objectives that I want to achieve. I want to make the most of this. First off, of course, I want to try to get a good ending. Another thing is I want to try to save Bruce. I also want to find out why the police took Anna's gear at the lab, and I want to find out why Adine disappeared. Those are my objectives. One way or another, I'm going to find out what happened in those situations. Now, before we move on, though, I haven't looked in the gallery yet. Let's check this out real quick. Well, I'm not really sure what the gallery is supposed to have. Maybe the good endings, or maybe, I don't know, special scenes where one of the dragons falls in love with you? Not really sure. Apparently we haven't unlocked anything yet, so all the more reason to keep playing. As a reminder to myself, what is in here? Video, audio, text. Let me remind myself what these are. I don't have a reminder of what these are, it doesn't tell me. Oh, that says skip, not ship. Okay, that actually makes a little more sense. Skip scene messages, skip all messages, don't skip all messages. After choices, stop skipping or keep skipping. Nah, I'll just leave it as it has been. I assume if I want to go through and find whatever new options are available in quote-unquote New Game Plus, I just start up a new game. Continue your journey, Erika. Is that the portal talking to me? Chapter 1, Trauma. Was Chapter 1 Trauma before? I awoke from uneasy dreams looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. Just for a moment, I wondered where I was before the events of last night all came back to me. After a good stretch, I looked around the room, illuminated by the sunlight coming in from the window. Outside in the distance, the portal I had emerged from proudly stood on the peak of a small hill. Okay, it's been like a couple weeks since I started this playthrough, so I don't know how much of this dialogue is the same. But it looks like we're definitely back where we started. Thereabouts. This is the morning after we arrived in the world, I'm pretty sure. We had met Remy the night before, and were brought to this apartment. And there we meet Sebastian. I know there is options to do some skipping around, but I'm gonna kind of take things a little slowly just to remind myself of what's going on during each scene. Oh, I'm tempted to kiss your hand, Sebastian, because you kind of died. You know what? I'm kissing your hand. When I took his hand into mine, preparing to kiss it, I could feel the individual bumps and scales on his rough skin. Nice to meet you too, Sebastian. Were you taking me straight to business? Sure. Right. Heading to the plant where they are making the generators that I'm supposed to be bringing back home. Seriously, Reza? You had to freak out when they were already making generators for you? So, we're new here. People don't necessarily know about me being here. Trying to lay low at first. Hello, Reza. I want to punch you. The scene has a whole different feeling when you know what already happens. No longer a friendly face like it was at the start of the game. Now it's a face I want to punch. Okay, how do I want to answer this? Let me go back to the question. He doesn't talk much. Knowing that Reza's probably gonna freak out regardless, I mean, my initial impression was that he didn't trust the dragons, but no, that has nothing to do with it, so I don't know whether I could necessarily win him over with my, lost track of what I was saying. I don't necessarily know whether I'll win him over and be able to convince him not to go on a crazy raid. Doesn't talk much. I'll choose this option this time. I bet he'd win in a fight with mine, though. Ha! So Sebastian and Maverick are talking. Maverick's grumpy. Because Reza set off some alarm bells, so Maverick is correct in his mistrust. Alright, this is the place where we got our blood sample going on and met Anna for the first time. Reza, of course, is all too anxious to acquire the generator. And here's where I give my blood. Honestly, I don't see any reason not to give my blood. Right, their little blood sampler thing. A lot better than drawing blood in real life. Of course I gave it to her. My records indicate you have already experienced this section in a satisfactory manner. Are you saying that I didn't experience the previous section in a satisfactory manner? Should I have chosen different options? I mean, I chose a different option. How is this different from just using skip buttons like Control and Tab, you might ask? Well, here's the deal. Using the skip buttons can be tedious, especially when encountering puzzles you've already solved before, or when faced with long dialogue trees. Sometimes it's just easier to jump over a whole section than speeding it up, you know? So, during relevant sections, I will come in and ask if you don't want to just outright jump ahead. Sound good so far? Anyway, there are times when you might still want to choose not to jump ahead like this, and use the skip buttons as usual. That's totally fine. Both methods have their own advantages and disadvantages. Jumping ahead will often skip minor choices that can be made, especially during character sections with lots of dialogue options. This can include parts that would unlock new achievements. However, jumping ahead will never skip important choices that you have to make, such as those that could result in good endings or the choices you make during your investigations. Well, that's good to know. All the more reason why I'm concerned that I did not go through the first section of the game properly. It's up to you whether you want to use it or not, but it might save you some time. Either way, the choice is yours. Would you like to skip ahead? This is a tough choice. If I've already made satisfactory inclusions, decisions rather, I don't want to risk forgetting what those decisions were and make a wrong decision. At the same time, I kind of want to go through these, like I said, to remind myself what it was that was going on during these. Well, for the moment, I'm going to save. Oh, good. I'm already starting on the next page. I don't have to go to the page every time. So we're going to kind of go through these. So this is about Maverick. Doesn't like that Maverick's following us. I'm pretty sure before I chose that maybe he just likes you a lot. I'm gonna stick with it. Here we meet you. Before it says, I think to get Lorem's good ending, you have to follow the scrap of paper after the light falls, and go to the park and search the grass and bushes until you find a spear. Oh, okay. Oh, it's the humans. Wait, where? I chose today's special before. I'm just gonna kind of stick with it, because I feel like there was something during this dialogue where I want to pay close attention to what he was saying. If you look at the big picture, don't you think there's just something off about this whole place? Where is it really? Are you trying to hint me at something? I mean, at this point, yeah, I've noticed it too. I can't really say much more with you-know-who over there. He's probably listening to us right now. Probably. What did I choose before at this point? Doesn't seem so bad to me. I think that's what I chose. Do I necessarily want to stick with the same options as before? Or do I want to go with charming? I'll say charming. When I let my gaze wander, I saw that Maverick was looking in my direction. Our eyes met briefly, his expression not showing any discernible emotion. While I wondered whether it had just been a coincidence or if he really was able to hear us from the distance. I do have some theories. If I'm right, we might be in trouble. You do not help with the situation, I can tell you that right now. I'll still be thankful, even though I know it's going to be really gross. Wait, where is he going? Send you a letter with a coded message later. And Sebastian went with him. Not that this whole situation was already bizarre enough, there was also now the vague sense of danger conveyed by Reza's earlier words. So, my character definitely doesn't know that she's in New Game Plus. Did not even have an idea what kind of threat might be lurking out there. Oh, it's out there, alright. So let me think here. At some point we're going to meet that pink dragon. You know what? Add an item to my list of objectives. Meet, what is her name? The pink dragon is Vera's. Vera. Meet Vera's mother. I don't know how I'll go about doing that, but that's something else I want to do before we end things. And I think this is where we meet her. Sort of. How we meet her, I'm not entirely certain. I assume that I would have to go to the correct location during an investigation. I'll definitely choose a different option for this point. You paid a nice tip to Adine? How nice of you. Although before I actually choose that, just in case it turns out to be sarcastic, how nice of you. Before says, during the second visit to the store, you should now have the choice to follow her. Curious why I didn't have the choice the first time, aside from the game wanting to ensure that I get a bad ending. So, I go home at first. So at this point, I'm not quite as concerned about trying to stay on the dragon's good side because Bruce is quite willing to trust me the whole adventure, it seems. So, I might go ahead and try for that medicine. Situation. Hi, Laura! Gosh, I want to hug you. So that really gives a good sense of your size, seeing you through the door. You definitely are a shorty. But you know what? That just makes you extra huggable. I can just pick you up and hold you. Unfortunately, we don't get to do much with Laura during this first meeting. I just love that. Eee! Lorem is freaking adorable. Oh, I also want to investigate rooms that I didn't get a chance to investigate during this part. I wonder at what point that skip option would have skipped to. Letter is fake, written in lemon, but I'll figure that out later. Okay. Only reading certain letters or religious one of thoughts immediately. Okay, I'm gonna save here. I think I know its meaning. After looking at it for a while, I came to the conclusion that the secret message said that Reza wanted me to... Oh gosh, what? No, we're not gonna be doing that. Do nothing while he figures out what to do, find out more about their government. Actually, I can't remember what the message was once we read it. Oh yeah, I remember. To meet him at the portal tonight. Do nothing, find out more about their government, flee through the portal as soon as possible. Have a pizza party, steal a certain book from the library, find out where Maverick lives, break into the manufacturing plant. We certainly have a variety of options. I kind of want to actually choose one of these, even though, it would mean not getting it to explore the rest of the house. Well, how about we find out where Maverick lives? Maybe in the process we'll find Maverick, and he won't wind up at the portal and get shot. No, that's not it. Okay, okay, fine, let's go through all the options then. Have a pizza party, that's not it either. Break into the manufacturing plant. Now I'm just guessing and hoping to get lucky. Steal a certain book from the library. I don't feel like any of these options is actually right. Flee through the portal as soon as possible. Why am I even still doing this? Find out more about their government. I have now reached the point where, statistically speaking, I should have gotten the right one. Either I'm just exceptionally bad at guessing, or I should start looking elsewhere. Do nothing while it figures out what to do. It was a 50-50 chance, but then the right answer wasn't there to begin with. Okay, I'm saving again before I choose that last option. Okay, this was the last option and it was still wrong. If that's not enough to prompt me to finally start looking elsewhere, I don't know what else will. I am unable to decode the message. I was hoping I would find an achievement for looking through all the options. Oops. What option did I accidentally choose? Okay. So this is the part where we go look at various things. I went to the bathroom before. The kitchen is where the answer is. I want to look at the bookshelf because I didn't get to do that before. The bookshelf was stocked with quite a variety of books on different topics. Look at an individual book? Maybe it has something to do with the books. The shelf is full of them, but I suppose the hint could be hidden inside one of them. Which book should I look into? Draconic Desire. Oh, neat. What does it say? The sensation that swept the nation, the novel of a generation. What is this nation that we're in, out of curiosity? I was so young and naive back then, barely having reached the age at which the arduous process of finding a mate, settling down, and starting a family became expected, yet none of my peers interested myself. They were childless and crude and uncultured. I was lost in a sea of uncertainty, drifting, hoping to be found by the one day. And then I did. How fast time flies when you're happy. I can't believe this was just 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I found the one. My truest soulmate there ever could be. Like a wrecking ball, I was really tempted to sing that out loud. He came out of nothing, breaking all the barriers and entered my life. 2 weeks ago, I was nothing. Today, I am the happiest dragon alive. Who knew that out of all the people alive, it only took the right one to right life itself? Who knew that to meet the perfect one, the only thing you needed was... Oh, come on! Really? I don't think there's anything in here. And who let this mess ever get to print? Sheesh. Says me. I want to find out what the rest said. Whatever. Assault of the humanoids from outer space. That is a neat book. So whose eyes are those supposed to be? Dragon eyes? Or are we assuming that humans have slit eyes? Written by somebody named Gunnar. Arc 1. It was a dark and stormy night. Relentlessly pouring was the rain outside, periodically interrupted by the loud echo of thunder again and again. So quick had its roaring staccato become that it almost seemed like someone was pounding against the door. No, someone really was pounding on the door right now. The door swiftly opened, and the moment for which the house's owner had waited decades finally was here. Not on the field of battle do you meet me, human scum, but in the comforts of my own home do you seek to assassinate? Feel my wrath! May it lead you to a slow and painful death! He screamed at the top of his lungs. I would do that myself, but my voice is kind of worn out today. And the other day, and the stream before that. I'm in one of those weird periods that my voice is not as strong as it should be, and I really don't know why. Your resistance will only temper my blade, inferior creature. Taste my blade and die from it! The reply wryly came from the human invader standing within the doorframe. Hero quickly stabbed him with his magic pen, a lethal hit which caused the human invader to slump to the ground instantly, his last words being, "Dang you, Hero. This is not over yet," while he melded into a red blotch, blotching up Hero's carpet. It is very interesting of hearing a human depicted this way. Hero looked up into the sky and realized all the thunder and rain had really been the UFOs of the invaders, numerous enough as to rival the raindrops falling from the sky. It is interesting that this story is depicting humans coming from outer space. I don't know of any such stories where dragons came from outer space. This was the moment when he knew it was too late. This meant war. Really? An invasion by human aliens? Is that what they think we're like? Born to Serve. An autobiography by Avdon the Seventh, a council member of some renown. Chapter 1, Rise from the Ashes. From the day I was born, I knew I was destined for greatness. As a member of the Avdonian household, nothing less was expected from me. My father, Avdon the Sixth, made sure of that. My mother, however, was a worm. Not literally, mind you. She was not some sort of annelid squirming beneath the earth and living in filth. No, she was just what I would describe as the lowest form of life. That is certainly an insult. Would be neat if she was literally a worm, though. Not concerning myself with matters of any importance, she instead sought to base her existence on superficialities. Not that it mattered much, as I grew to hate them both equally. For those who may want to critique me now for saying this, I have no doubt of my father's political achievements, yet only those who had to live with him know that these successes came at the price of his very soul, an empty shell of a dragon driven by nothing but his performance as a politician, not as a father. Maddie says not even a worm, as in the dragon type. A politician, huh? I wonder what their actual government is like. Well, apparently we're not going to find out. Price and Prayer. A politographical novel. Preface. In the 14-second bet. But this is information that I wanted to know. In the 1,402nd year since our ascent to sentience, a most extraordinary chain of events led to the most extraordinary of circumstances in our politics and society. I wonder how long dragons live. I mean, there's myths about dragons being able to live 1,000 years, but does that mean that these dragons live 1,000 years? I wonder how long dinosaurs lived. So, that long has been going on. That is how long it's been since the dragons, well, became sentient. when the administrator created dragonkind. I'm gonna write that down just because it's interesting knowledge and I'd like to remember it. Although it could be a little bit longer than that, depending on when this book was written. So in regards to how long dragons live, and dinosaurs, Beafor says dozens of years at least. Maddie says reptilian sorts seem to tend to live long for their size. I suppose elephants would not be a bad comparison. They live like 70 years. Out in the wild, I think. Or is that in captivity? Anyway, these events have since been buried in history until I stumbled upon the records of these tumultuous times. I have taken it upon myself to dramatize the events in a manner that is both accurate to history, as well as entertaining to any reader who might have an interest in such stories. So does this mean this writer actually knows about the administrator? And the time traveling? This is not just for my own personal gain, as I hope to make this story available to a larger audience than just a few who have permission to visit the archives. I believe the wisdom to be gained from the ensuing tale to be more relevant to us now than ever. It kind of is. Apparently this story didn't interest me, but it certainly does interest me. The Ixomen Sphere and how to use it. As a manual meant for the general populace, this booklet intends to bring you, the valued reader, closer to the uses and joys of an Ixomen Sphere might bring. I have taken utmost care to use simple language and instructions to remove the well-known barrier between individuals and knowledge of proper use of this most wondrous device. For interested parties, a chapter about the Ixomen Sphere's history and ideas for advanced applications can be found later in the book. Quick Start Guide. Step 1. Place your Ixomen Sphere on a flat, stable surface. Make sure that the surface is indeed stable and flat. Expert tip: use a spirit level in order to determine if a surface is absolutely horizontal in order to prevent the Ixomen Sphere from rolling off the table unintendedly. Daddy says, oh hey, those are the things Ipsum had one of them. Yeah. If we had read this book before we met Ipsum, we would have not known what this book was talking about. That said, what is a spirit level? I mean, I'm guessing it's kind of like a level, like the thing you do to make sure that wood is level whenever you're building stuff. Step 2. Plug your Ixomen Sphere into any fitting household outlet. Warning! Make sure the Ixomen Sphere's power switch is in the off position prior to plugging it in. Step 3. Locate the power switch of the Ixomen Sphere. This step may introduce some difficulties, as many different models of Ixomen Spheres exist. So this isn't an instruction book that came with one specific model? With varying methods of turning them on and off. When in doubt, please contact your Ixomen Sphere's manufacturer to help with this step if necessary. Now I know how to work an Ixaman sphere. Whatever that is. Achievement unlocked. Bookworm. Okay, look behind the books. Maybe Reza left me another message here at some point. He could have known that I was going to live here, so I suppose it is possible that he helped with the preparations and hid something for me to find. No, even after removing every single book from the shelf, there is still no indicator of anything that would help me decode his secret message. But even if Reza did leave a hint, this could have been anywhere in the apartment, and not just on this bookshelf. Okay, let's look in the bathroom, because I want to get that other achievement. Though I'm going to save just in case I, like, overdose or something. Let's take some pills. Again? Alright. I'm feeling strange. I suppose one more can't hurt. Can't hurt because they're pain meds. How long was I gone? And why did I think eating a whole bottle of pain medication would somehow help with my search? Achievement unlocked. Prescription. You took some pain medication. This was not a good idea. I don't think there was anything of interest in the shower. So go to the kitchen. Did I look in the pantry before, or did I start with the fridge? There's some fruits and veggies here. Oh, I think I already looked at these. No, the final option was the lemon. Oh, that's right. I started with the fridge, broke a bunch of eggs, and then moved on to the pantry before eventually reaching the lemon. Well, I see no reason to go through these options again. I already have the achievement, so we'll go with lemon. So lemon juice will reveal a hidden message. Or to meet Reza at the portal. Do I want to choose a different option? Let me save real quick. Was already wondering whether you'd get the puzzle at all, the message. Guess I did. What a wonderful night it is. Look at the stars, you can see them clearly, without pollution. Yeah. We didn't find aliens. We found dinosaurs. Obviously sending the generator at night to avoid attention. That was part of the plan. I think that's what it was. No. Wait. What was it again? A quarter of an hour each day. And it was just decided at night, I guess? Probably the reason is written here somewhere, but I'm glossing over it and missing it. I'm afraid this whole place will be gone soon, and we better not be here when it happens. Yeah, I know. You do? Well, then you know what we've got to do, right? Yeah. How'd you find out? It took me quite a while, but maybe we can compare notes and make sure we're right. While he was speaking, my gaze wandered and fixed on some movement nearby. It was hard to make out anything, but I imagine it might just have been wind blowing through the nearby shrubbery, except for the fact that there was no wind. Reza? This might take a while to explain, but we got the whole night. Reza, look. Turned around, and here comes Maverick. I mean, Maverick being here does kind of make things a little worse. It means that I don't necessarily have a chance to talk to him and try to come with a reasonable solution instead of kill all the dragons and steal their stuff. I probably don't have any options left before the shoot. Yep, here it comes. What do I want to do at this point? Do I have an option? No, I didn't have the option to run away yet. First, I get tail whipped. Better not move. And my original thought was, of course I'm going to be sitting here not moving. I want to show you that I am trustworthy. I tell you, Bruce, you certainly looked really intimidating when we first met. I could have sworn that I was given the option to get up and try to run away or something. I must be misremembering. I think I'm alright. Also, nice to see you alive, Bryce. We're definitely going to try to keep you that way on this run. Okay, Reza shot Maverick and ran off. Can you walk? Yeah, I think so. Take Erika to the apartment. Still shaken up. And I went to sleep. So what am I going to do here? Reading another book, but first, doorbell. I forgot that, Bryce took me along here on this morning. Was this when we investigate the first murder? Maverick says he suspected Reza planning some sort of attack. Do you know anything about that? I mean, technically, no. Told me something was going to happen. Maverick suspects me, of course. I don't blame him. What was I saying? Why would we go through all the lengths of our agreement only to jeopardize it by doing something like this? Because knowing what is going to happen, Reza is desperate. We even already have our PDAs, don't have much to show for it yet. If I only knew that Reza was going to start stealing generators. So what do I want to say here? If Maverick wasn't on mandatory sick leave, he would be suspended right now. We'll have to wait until this whole thing is over before we decide what to do with him. I can assure you this won't be taken lightly. Maybe they both acted in the heat of the moment. Where I come from, this kind of attack on a diplomat could be classified as an act of war. I hope so. I mean, these second two options are both seeming to be against Maverick. So I'm gonna go with the one that also places some blame on Reza. Like, if only this doesn't lead to too much of a diplomatic crisis, though I do wind up getting sent home, almost. So we're going to keep this whole thing a secret for now. Maybe it's during this scene where we find out about the first murder victim. In the meantime, I wrote down everything I know. Yep. Reza killed a dragon. Incidentally, I was totally wrong about the dragon. Well, I'll get to that as soon as we get to it. I will, of course, help you. So we're on our way to investigate the crime scene. Let's just save. Let's just do it. And I'm actually kind of curious. Does he say something different between options? Nope, it's ... either way. So the blood in the mouth. A later conversation made me think that maybe there's some degenerative disease that caused this situation, or is center to the mystery. Apparently not. This really was Reza. Although, did Reza actually take a bite? Get a bite taken out of him, though? Wounds are kind of hard to miss. What are they telling you? Okay, just for the fun of it. The wounds are telling me it was suicide. Based on the number and shape of the wounds, I'd say it was a suicide. No, wait. Okay, I'm gonna purposely go for all the wrong options. He was already dead when he got these wounds? How so? That seems pretty unlikely. The perpetrator was an unusually large or small person. The angles look a bit strange, like they were done from an unusual position. Is it possible that they were inflicted by a person who was much larger or smaller than him? No, I don't think that's it. Inflicted with a sharp instrument. They're clean cuts like from a knife or another sharp instrument. That is true, but why does this matter? It tells us that it was a suicide. I thought we ruled that one out already. It actually doesn't. You don't think the murder weapon matters? Dragons don't use knives. Actually, we do. Mostly by those who have the proper hands to use them, but still. It couldn't have been Reza. Reza had a gun yesterday. Why would we use a knife now? Right, that weapon he was using on Maverick is called a gun, right? Yeah? What strange contraptions. It is interesting that this world doesn't have guns, by the way. Well, he could have had a reason to use a knife or his gun if it was him. Can you think of any? He lost his gun. That is possible, but we have already searched the perimeter and didn't find anything. He did not want to make any noise. He wouldn't because this was clearly a suicide. Alright, I get it. You think it was suicide, but I think we should explore other options. We wouldn't because it wasn't him. There's no real reason why he would, so it couldn't have been him at all. I'll disagree with you on that. It makes him look cooler. No, just no. Did not want to make noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick, trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position, alert others. That could be a good reason. Hold on, let me back up. I think I accidentally chose a correct option before choosing all the wrong options. Small person. Sharp instrument. Suicide? Dragons don't use knives. Actually does. If it could only have been someone with hands. That's right, only those of us who walk on two legs have the proper dexterity to wield a knife effectively. Most other dragons would probably just bite instead. Of course, this rules out most of the bigger dragons and flyers. But then, Reza still has his... what was it called again? You mean his gun? Yeah, if it was him, why would he kill someone with a knife rather than just use this gun on him? Okay, so either of those two options leads to this part. Makes him look cooler. Lost his gun. It wasn't him. Did not want to make any noise. Which do you think was the lethal one? Obviously the one on his neck. The one on his wings. He's got quite a few there, but I think it must be them. No, there's really not much blood lost from those. These are actually defensive wounds, usually inflicted when someone tries to defend themselves from these kind of attacks. Okay, the one on his chest. The gushes on his chest look rather large. I think it was them. Actually, no, these kind of wounds come from a slashing motion, meaning the wound may end up looking big, but the damage is comparatively superficial. Of course, they may contribute to blood loss, but they aren't lethal so quickly. Obviously the neck, then. I thought the blood wasn't a giveaway. This is a stab wound. Characterized by a rather small footprint, you can tell it's also the deepest one. Must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see? A lot of blood. The blood splatter suggests that he committed suicide. Just stop it already. This isn't blood. You sure? No, it's blood, all right. What did you just do to figure that out? He has AIDS. Had what? Nice to know the dragon world does not have AIDS. Okay, Maddie and Beer Force are saying that he smelled it. Good, I was thinking maybe he licked it or something. He was dragged here after he died. Well, there's no blood anywhere else in the vicinity that would suggest that, unless the perpetrator had the time to clean up some of it. He was hemophiliac. There's so much blood. Could he have been a hemophiliac? It is a lot of blood, I'll give you that, but I don't think this has anything to do with hemophilia. He died here. Thus there would have been a trail. Doesn't help with the Terminator objection. Always wanted to say that. What about the blood on his muzzle? You tell me. Where's the suicide option? There's no suicide option. He bit his tongue during the fight? It is actually a very real possibility. We probably would be seeing more blood if that were the case, though. He has gum disease. Possible, but unlikely. He is a vampire. Don't be silly. He had a bloody steak earlier. He had the blood from it still stuck to his teeth. Who knows how long after? I don't think so. He fought back. Might be the perpetrator's blood. It's too bad that Reza did not get his blood sample going on. Maybe this isn't your strong suit. Told you so. Okay, I had my fun. Let me go back and choose all the correct options. Let's see, what was this question? What caused the wounds? Sharp implement. It shows that it could only have been done with someone with hands. He did not want to make any noise. Obviously, the lethal wound was the one on his neck. A lot of blood. He's showing he died here. Of course, even choosing the correct options, I still gotta make the objection joke. Anyway, he fought back. I'm a little surprised that Reza was not bloodied up then. You know what, kid? I'm impressed. Really, how impressed are we talking about? I was worried about that. Everybody's starting back at neutral. Oh, and in regards to Reza's injury, Maddie says weeks passed between now and then. That's true. Feels more like a few days, but yeah, it is actually weeks. Maybe we should have you around more often. Achievement unlocked, Investigator 1. Do you still need the witness here for anything? I forget who the witness was. Right, it was Adine. I thought that was who it was, but then I'm thinking, wait, what if she was the witness at the hatchery? No, it was here. Adine's happy to see me, of course. I'm, of course, going to be nice. Okay, what do I want to say here? Do I work with the police? Guess so. Looks like it. Just a hobby. Not really a hobby, admittedly. Looks like it. Maybe I should be calling you Officer, then. It's gonna be really funny if she starts calling me Officer in future scenes. I don't think I'm quite there yet. By the way, I didn't know you also did deliveries. Yep, we learned that later on. Although I had a feeling it would be her that delivered. What do we do now? And here comes Maverick, trying to figure things out on his own. At least now I know that I can actually trust Maverick on this adventure. He doesn't step out of line, he doesn't plant any false evidence or anything like that. Let's see here. He'll be looking for Razor soon enough. Let's hope we find Razor before he does. At least that means someone will find him, right? To be fair, I might be too if I was shot. What do I want to choose here? I can't remember what I chose last time. I think it was the last option. I'm gonna stick with the last option. At least that means someone will find Razor. Had to remain a possibility that Maverick was right. Could the Razor I knew really be a murderer? Apparently. This isn't just some big misunderstanding. Razor is not right. Okay. We have arrived at this scene. I believe I'm getting ready to have an option of choosing a different... or meeting up with different characters. Not sure what I'll do yet. But let's go on a break for the time being. And when we come back... I'll do something.